Today I'm in Glasgow at the Govan stones. Check this beast out. This is our stone sarcophagus. One piece. The old warrior, his sword. Don't know what this marking is. It's like an old mason's mark. Looks to be in the hunt. His dog. And there's the prey, deer. This is just a resin impression of the other side. So guys, I'm going to have a look at some hogback, so-called Norse stones. Look at these beasts. Look at these. So apparently these were Viking graves, but there's none of these found in Scandinavia. And Viking houses were thatched. They never had tiles. These are meant to represent roofs. I've usually got a animal on the side. Look at that. These are huge. These are the biggest ones I've ever seen. This one's quite narrow compared to like this one here. The stonework though. Amazing. This one's even narrower. They think this is the earliest one. All the hogbacks. Well, that's not fitting on my head. That should be my thumbnail, eh? So today was inspired by and Colin Devine, definitive gaze. We're here at last. Look at these beasts, massive. I've seen the hogback stones, but they've never been as big as these. And Colin Devine as well mentioned this. I've been meaning to come here for a while. These were ancient stones that were repurposed. People used them again for their own. this hole here. So I've already took a lot of photographs and video on my GoPro. It's amazing. Look at that, not work. Amazing. The wealthy Kinrick o Strathclyde was a natural target for the Viking. The reivers wound up settling and they left their merk at Govan. Though the Viking first came to Scotland for to reeve by the 9th century, they were coming with bigger armies and was after settling and conquering land. The Barton Rock was had it to siege in 870 AD by an army of Viking hailing fae Dublin. It was after taking over the hail of the Firth the Forth. The best evidence of the Viking being in Govan is the 5 Hogbacks stains, either for the 10th and 11th centuries, and belong to the time Viking lairds was settling this bit. The monument stains are Kent Hogbacks, a cause of the curved rigs that are meant to look like the back of a pig. More like they're meant to look like hussies. Maybe they're made after the wedding hussies o' them that had them made. Some of the stains is decorated with what looks like wooden rough tiles. It's maybe the case that they're meant to look like the wee house-like shrines that often had at the base and relics of saints. Some of the carvings had a pair of beasts holding ilky end of the stain. The meaning isn't clear, but maybe it's to do with Viking pagan beliefs. 6 Hogback stains is only found in bits of Britain where there was a strong Viking influence. You get them over a good bit in North England and South Scotland, and can be seen as the common cared of Viking settlers. So that was written in Scots. Almost sounds like to the memory of the family of the Rowan of Home Farmhead. How you doing, No Mask? Good to see you. The Hogbacks. So we've just read all that. In Scots. That's the same as that. The wealthy kingdom of Strathclyde. The wealthy Kinrick Strathclyde. Amazing. Look at these old crosses, guys. Look at these old crosses. Mental. And we just had a look at the stone coffin. There are a number of important figures from early medieval Scotland with this name. However, the Constantine recorded that Govan is more likely to be the son of the Pictish king, Kenneth MacAlpin. During Constantine's rule, his kingdom suffered increased raiding by the Vikings. He was killed by a Viking attack in 876. A later biography of his life recorded that he conquered the neighbouring kingdoms without bloodshed. Constantine was always subject to the bush. All the kings who had ruled before him, he surpassed in rich glory and honour and holiness, which is more excellent. From the life of Saint Kentigern. Constantine was remembered as a great king and a Christian martyr, and became a saint of the early church. His relics were seen by many pilgrims who came to visit his shrine at Govan. It's probable that the elaborate stone coffin from Govan was made to contain his remains. Early saints often had their relics placed in elaborate monuments such as this. The sarcophagus is richly decorated. The carvings show an armed man on horseback, which may represent Constantine himself. He's depicted hunting deer. A favourite sport for early medieval nobles, hunting was often used as an image of a spiritual quest in Christian art. Govan's one-off gathering of stone monuments is a minding of how important the kirk was, but how come the state was so significant. Digging analysis in the stains and stories themselves have given us an understanding of the importance of Govan and its stunning Arthur early medieval Cynric of Strathclyde. The kingdom was ruled from nearby Dumbarton Rock. In the 6th and 9th centuries AD, it was one of the group of realms in southern Scotland and northern England that spoke Old Welsh. This was a language spoken across much of Britain before the Romans arrived. In the early Middle Ages, it was still spoken across western Britain from Cornwall to Clydeside. By the 9th century, the kingdom was hemmed in by powerful neighbours, standing between the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Northumbria to the south and the kingdoms of the Picts and the Gaelic kingdom of Dalriata to the north. Strathclyde was a contested land. You see how William Buggles reused it.
Down the sides, we'll just keep going and more the long stone of the Viking, the rounded oval. Well, we'll come to the Hogbacks down there, but these were sort of freestanding crosses. They were carved on both sides. It would show people where, just where they're taking left foot at the churches, or it might be where people who were coming in pilgrimage to St. Constantine, who was the 15th century, and the 7th, 8th century.
Cross here.
Welcome. Have you been to the church before?
I've been in here before, yeah.
Have you had a tour?
Yeah, we used to come in a few times on the open.
Got the old graveyard outside as well, guys. The Govan stones recall a remote time in Scotland's history. They have much to tell us about the shift in attitudes towards the past over the last 1,000 years. Today we treat these monuments as British artefacts telling us about the early medieval period. These stones have not always been looked after so well and kept protected within the church. As today when we mark graves with markers and monuments, these stones had a role 1,000 years ago, marking the graves of the ruling families of Strathclyde. The wee circles. You see it's all worn now. So this is the different churches I reckon was on this site. So I reckon something like this to begin with. Recent archaeological excavations have revealed the corner of a dry stone foundation wall for a large timber medieval building such as a church. The thatched church would have sat in an oval-shaped graveyard that also contains stone carving workshops. The graveyard was protected by a large ditch and all but its north side, which may have been bounded by the River Clyde. Govan at this time was the leading parish of the Clyde due to its ancient origins and fine agricultural quality. I reckon the next building was this. Timber church was gradually replaced by a stone Norman style building. It's 1136, I reckon 700, then 1136 and 1651. So there's been quite a few churches on this site here, guys. You see the initials here of somebody. Same again, they've reused the stone. EH, TH. Right guys, I think I'm going to buy some souvenirs. Have a look in the graveyard. We collector bags. Wee miniatures. They're so cool. There's the sunstone there. King Arthur. This was on the news a couple of weeks ago, guys. This is the most recent discovery. You can see it's a warrior, his shield.
The airport authorities wanted to build the Glasgow International Airport, and it took them 5 years to get permission from the Church of Scotland and Edinburgh to demolish the already derelict church.
This was found in the graveyard.
The authorities gave them a brand new church in the village of Inchinnan with the tennis courts, swimming baths, cafe. They gave them everything. And they took all the artifacts, which some of them to us, and they put them in this white boxes outside the church. You can't touch anything. Anyway, it's very nice, but it's very clean. Feel free to go if you like it. It's quite easy to get to. So in 793, the Vikings arrived after they'd been jumped from Norway into Shetland and then into Iceland and then into England where they slaughtered all the most Lindisfarne and Lindisfarne. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm not saying that right. take when the Vikings are pagan, and they worship the sun. And this is the sun that they worship, and anything that they worshipped was surrounded by animals, and this is snakes, and this, when you get to the Hogbacks, you'll see bears at the end, or two sheep. And this is all anti-woven snakes, eyes and the mouth there. And the snake thing was, after everybody was becoming Christian, it became popular to become Christian. And Christians believe that being reborn, and this is why the snakes believe. This is what I know, this is the Christian thing. Snakes pass the stone.
These are amazing beings.
There's been another bit of us talk here at one point where it's to make it look like a cross. You'll see the other side in a minute, but this is all from Govan scholars built sort of in the year 800. There's the other side, this guy in Hedgehog.
I want to buy one of these. I get the sunstone.
Although we kept a lot of taken sort of ideas and there's the crossing. Not sure what thing it's doing. That's the first there to the south of the one side. It's the Govan snakes again. But he's a picture rider. We know he's a picture rider because he's got a ponytail. He's had a pointed beard, which I'm wearing. And there's his sword. He's very handy. So, as on this way, we're still going to be very much back to the you see it, but others were still in it. Two of them. Are you enjoying yourself?
Aye, it's good.
This guy has seen every Hogbacks in all of these coasters.
Aye.
This storm was found last Saturday, I think. And I don't very special.
Govan stand and stone crosses are the most striking features of the churchyard, but all four of these show ravages of time. This is the sunstone. Look at the sun. It's got serpents. Look at that. Look at the serpents. It's almost like Conan the Barbarian.
You can see this is a warrior. You see the outline of his, and there's his pamphlet, his shield, there's his arm.
The sunstone also features a horse and a rider, a common motif on picture sculpture from further north in Scotland. A number of the other stones from Govan, including the Jordan Hill stone, so called as it stood for a time in the garden of Jordan Hill House, and the stone sarcophagus, have similar images of mounted figures carved onto them. These images are probably portraits of the noblemen who ordered the stones to be carved, a permanent reminder of these important men. The Curry stone was recorded in 19th century drawing. The humble looking creature that carries the rider may represent the ass that carried Christ into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday.
That's where the parish room is. That's the road, and there's the castle. And it's just next to
Right guys, I'm going to end it here because I'm going to go back buy a souvenir. But thanks for coming guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.